Hey guys, this is Undercover Dudes all the way from Down Under, and today I'm going to be talking about combat arms and the state of my channel. Now, I put Q&A with UCD in the title. The reason why is because I want to go and start up that series again. I don't have many of these more personal videos on my channel. I've really just kind of cut them out, for some reason over the last year or so, just replacing them with normal commentaries, live commentaries, top 10s, reviews, so on. But having a video where I can go and talk to you guys, and you guys can go and talk to me, and it's a bit of a conversation, a bit of a back and forth, and overall I think having more of those type of videos on my channel would be good. So that's why I want to go and start up the Q&A again, and this video is really the start of more of a direct conversation with you guys, so I can really go and say what's been on my mind and what I think the future of this channel can be. Now, combat arms. Am I quitting combat arms? No. But why aren't you making as many combat arms videos, you guys may ask? Well, there has legitimately been no new content that is worth talking about. It's sale after sale after sale after event, and that event is just a rip-off of Scorpions vs Spiders. Overall, nothing has happened with the game that is worth talking about. When there is actual content, actual stuff, actual progress with this game, I will go and talk about it. When there's stuff about Janus, with the new HUD got, announced or whatever in the screenshots, I made like a 25-minute video breaking it down and going and giving my feedback. When there is new, really cool guns to go and play with, I'll go and make a review, I'll go and make a gameplay. But at the moment, there is absolutely nothing to go and talk about. Janus doesn't count, since everything I've said in my previous videos, and I've made countless videos about Operation Janus, all of them still apply. The second stage of Janus doesn't improve on much. The only good thing, in my opinion, is the fact that the ranked weapon restrictions are really decent. But other than that, it is complete trash. The HUD, shit. The UI, confusing. How can you go and make a UI even more confusing as it already is? Getting into a game, yes, that's really easy to go and do. But saying that, if I want to go and change my settings, if I want to go and equip a weapon, nobody knows how to go and do that because your tutorial's trash, and overall, the UI is a convoluted mess. It feels like an amateur's gone and design it. It feels like an amateur's gone and design the HUD, and I'm going to stop talking about it because I get quite emotional, because the way Nexon is treating this game is complete utter bullshit. Now, when it eventually gets released, some people will leave. Some people will go and join back. Some people will start playing the game. But I doubt there will be a big revival with CA. Nexon's mindset is so backwards. The way to go and do #MakeCA great again is try to go and leech onto the nostalgia, but then they try to go and put this game up against the AAA games where combat arms is completely, inferior against. It makes absolutely no sense why they did that. I've made countless videos over the past 2 years explicitly stating what needs to be done, and only now a small portion of that feedback is actually being implemented. Now, I won't talk much about this because I get, quite emotional. I get, it's sad. It's honestly really sad, but it's easy to see that CA won't die anytime soon, but it will never be the CA that fans are actually looking for. But regardless, because of that, I will still be making CA content because I know people are still looking for it. Now let's get to my channel. Over the past month or two, I finally realized what everybody has been telling me. If I stay a combat arms focused channel and all I do is make combat arms videos, my channel will realistically never die, but it will never go and grow. I'll always have this decent play base because CA, as I said before, is a game that will realistically never die. People will still keep playing it, but I'll never grow. I'm not a person that is content with mediocrity. Even though I meme around, I go and say, oh, okay, I'm fine with this, I'm fine with that. Realistically, I want my channel to go and grow as much as possible. I want this to go and grow and prosper. The dream has always been 100k subs, and further on to maybe make YouTube a career of sorts. I'm currently 2.5 years into my 5-year electrical engineering and computer science degree, and realistically I have 2 or so years left to get my YouTube to a state where I could maybe do it full time for a few years or so after graduating. Personally, I think a lot of YouTubers are caught up in the idea that YouTube will be around forever. Personally, I don't think it will, and thus I want, a stable job as well that will really solidify my life. But saying that, going and taking the opportunity by 2 hands would be a really cool thing. The only way that could actually go and happen is 200 to 300k subscribers, I think the AdSense revenue from that would be decent. On top of that, potentially some sponsors, some peripheral sponsors. On top of that, if I had a Twitch partnership, if I did a lot of live streaming, you know, with better internet, whatever, I think overall the combination of those factors would mean a really, really cool period of my life. But saying that, I don't think my content is good enough for a Patreon, if any of you guys are wondering. Now, with all of that said, if it doesn't happen, I'm happy to keep YouTube a hobby and do engineering full-time because it's satisfying and it's fun. I love what I study, I love what I do, despite it being frustrating at times. But saying that, I have a legitimate one-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and if I can make it work, making gamer-related content for a living would be really, really cool. Now, I think going to America for Lawbreakers, Europe for Combat Arms, and Melbourne for a Prey livestream, as you guys can see on the screen right now, these traveling the world events has really gone and motivated me in order to go and pursue YouTube in a more, more direct fashion. But with all of that said, I've had a bit of a sample of the dream, and it would be a tad sad to go and let that go. But with whatever happens, my dedication to my studies right now and in the future for the 2.5 years left that I have for my degree will not go and change. It will still be number one. I will go and finish off an assignment rather than go and make a video that could potentially go and blow up my channel, simply because I think looking towards the future rather than short term is a really, really good idea. But looking short term, i.e. going and doing this YouTube thing, is something that is really, really cool as well, and it shouldn't be discarded simply because it's not the most responsible thing to go and do. But with all of that said, exams are coming up really, really soon, so content may go and slow down a bit. But over the last couple years, I've got really good at making decent quality videos in a really short time. I'm writing scripts on the train to uni and back, editing while eating, etc, etc. So in general, any procrastination time gets put into making content. So overall, I don't think the slowdown will be as significant as it was a few years ago, where it was legitimately like a month or two without a video simply because I just didn't get around to going and making one. So what am I going to be doing differently? Well, as I said before, I'm not quitting Combat Arms, but if you had a look at my channel over the last month or two, you could see there has been some videos that have gone and blown up. The first one was a CSGO video where I compared the Chinese release to Crossfire. Now this video then made my existing top 10 videos blow up, that being the top 10 free-to-play FPS list, the browser FPS list, and the Steam games list. Now, with all of that said, I then released a top 10 free games you didn't know existed that hit 160k views in a week, and the week after I released the top 10 gamers banned for cheating or hacking, and that broke 100k views in 2 days. Overall, I got a bee's dick away from 1 million views in 1 month, and so it's pretty apparent that these top 10 videos do really, really well. So most people would go and say that, okay, if I started exclusively making top 10 videos, that would get me a lot of subs and also a lot of money. And that is 100% true. But I'm not going to be doing that because I never want to be known as just a top 10 channel. Throughout the life of my channel Undercover Dudes, I've always been known as a Combat Arms YouTuber through and through, despite what I've gone and produced for free to play, despite what I've gone and produced for Counter-Strike Global Offensive and so on. And that label of sort really hit my confidence back in year 12, where my confidence was, admittedly at an all-time low. And when I tried other types of content, I got massively dislike bombed. Having my personality as the reason why people watch my channel would be the absolute dream, to build my brand around myself rather than just a game. Being a top 10 exclusive channel goes and kills that dream completely. People would only go and watch the top 10 stuff and nothing else. And have a look at Danger Dolan, for example. He makes clickbait top 10 videos and he has like 1.5 million subscribers and only gets 50k views video. Even though he makes a ton of money, even though he has a ton of subs, I don't want that future for my channel because that is really, really depressing. So even though I'll grow considerably slower, I think it's the most responsible choice for my channel and also the most responsible choice for my sanity. These top 10 videos take up the 2 to 4 weeks to go and make, from research to going getting footage to recording the voice and then editing. Overall, these videos take a ton of time, and pushing out one in 2 to 3 days would be just insane amount of work. And honestly, with university and whatnot, that is not what I want to go and do on a constant basis. Now take Frankie on PC for example. Even though he blew up because of DayZ, he pushed through and now he's known as just a great overall gaming content creator. That's where I want to go and be. Of course I'll just go and do first person shooter games and the like, since that is the type of videos I enjoy making, but to have the freedom to make whatever I really want within my realm of expertise would be really, really cool. Be it my commentaries, which I think are at an all-time high in quality, be it first look reviews, top 5 plays, top 10 lists, live commentaries, Twitch highlights, etc. Being an all-round first-person shooter gaming YouTube channel would be really, really cool. Making content on CA, CSGO, Battlefield, anything that I have a real big interest in. But the problem is that building a channel like that is extremely difficult. Basically, everybody starts out with one game and then works from there. Though some channels go from this really, really broad perspective at the start and continue that, though those cases are quite rare. And overall, I think for me at least, it's quite ironic because I have to go and start again with a certain game or, a few games to start with, I suppose. And it's quite ironic because that's what I did with Combat Arms. I started with Combat Arms, but I have to learn from my mistake many, many years ago where when CA was starting to go in decline, I kept on the Combat Arms train rather than trying to go and work in other stuff. I think working in other stuff would be really, really cool in order to go and bring that variety to my channel. Not saying that I'm going to be focusing on games that are going to be dying, but rather whenever I go and get a little bit of success, trying to go and branch out and trying to go and expand my community would be a really, really cool thing. But the problem is, where do I go? And I don't have a solution. I don't have an answer to that question. At the moment, I love Quake Champions, Lawbreakers, Overwatch, and Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Now saying that, when Call of Duty comes out at the end of the year, more than likely I'll make videos on that. But if I make videos on all of these games, I'll spread myself too thin and I won't get any traction anywhere. But if I make videos on only one game, I'll get the whole Combat Arms situation happening again. It's a balancing act and it's really hard to go and do. And to be honest, I don't know what to do. At this point, I have exams coming up and thinking about all of this stuff is not exactly the most healthy thing, so going to put it into a video form where I can go and read your comments is something that will be really, really good. Not only to go and relieve the amount of stress that I have with university at the moment, but just to go and see, okay, what people think could potentially be the new direction for CA. Now, I did a video like this last year, and I completely went and disregarded all of the feedback because I was still completely adamant that Combat Arms would have a revival. Right now, I think the revival of Combat Arms is extremely, extremely low. But if it does go and have a little bit of revival, I know the people that are still here for Combat Arms will still go and stay because I will go and keep producing content, semi-regularly for this game, be it the top 5 plays or any new content releases. But with that said, going and starting out and growing with Quake and Lawbreakers, 2 of these really big up-and-coming games would be sweet. And even though the views at the start would be quite low, I think that's how every new YouTuber starts, and I have to go through that experience again, and that is quite painful. But with that said, making live comms for the already massive Overwatch community would be really cool as well because I really enjoy that game. Same with Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I have to go and blend, the up and coming with the already successful, and blending the two together I think could be a really good formula. But again, I kind of want to hear other voices because I've talked to a few people. I've talked to quite a few YouTubers about it. I've got their opinions, but having the opinion from the people actually watching my video would be really, really valuable. But with that, all of that said, I could then go back to CA for, a few days or a week or so, make a few videos for that, and repeat the process. So in the end of it, I never really would get burnt out like I did in the past, because in the past, I was just making Combat Arms videos, and getting a gameplay was an absolute grind, and I would get so frustrated. I literally have to go and take my hands off the keyboard back in the day, simply because I was getting so frustrated in order to go and try to get a gameplay. If I just wasn't hitting clips, if I just wasn't going and getting what I needed to go and make that video, it would be really frustrating. I was basically forcing myself in order to go and make a video, and I don't want that to go and happen again. Now, since we're this far into the video, I want to go and tell you guys something from a few years back. Now, back during the peak period of Combat Arms, I'm talking like 2013, 2014, this is for my channel at least, I was very much obsessed with money. Cranking out Combat Arms commentaries gave me a dank income. I made quite a lot of money during that period, especially because YouTube was at an all-time high with CPMs and whatnot, and a lot of people watching my videos. And anything else that I tried just, on the side would obviously result in less money, and therefore I just would never go make that content again. Now my mindset is completely different. Making money is nice. I like going and making money because I like going and have enough money to go and ride the train, to go out with my friends, to go and do all these cool trips and whatnot. But my priority right now is not money. Money is so far down the ladder, you guys could not go and imagine it. My priority right now is going and growing my channel, forming a larger community, growing my brand and image while improving my skills, not only as a commentator, but also as shoutcaster. I love shoutcasting. I love going shoutcasting League of Legends, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, all of these really fast-paced esports games. I would love to go and do content shoutcasting those. I think that over the last year, I've really gone and learned that experiences go and outweigh money. People have been telling me this for many, many years, but I haven't been listening to them. But only after I went to Europe, only after I went to America, only after very recently that I went to Melbourne for that live stream, whatnot, I've gone and realized that experiences are really, really important. And these once in a lifetime experiences, I'll never be able to go and experience again, especially when I'm older. But with that said, money is still important, and so that's why I want to go and keep all of my options open. Now, at this point, I'm basically rambling, so thank you if you've gotten this far into the video. I really don't know where Undercover Dudes will be going, and to be perfectly honest, I really thank you if you've been here from the start, if you've been here, from a few years ago, or if you've just gone and subscribed to my channel. If you're here for Combat Arms, that will stay. If you're here for the top 10s, I will go and make them every month or so. If you're here for me, massive thank you. Everybody, it doesn't matter who you're watching me for. I just really want to go and thank you. Now, with that said, if you gotten this far into the video, go and put, I don't know, undercoverdudes. Go and put undercoverdudes. It's a really classic Twitch meme. And honestly, if I got Twitch partner or Twitch affiliate, whatever, that would be the first emote I have, because damn, that's like the biggest meme at the moment. And someone's been asking, I think Lord Teapot has been begging me to go and say it in the video. Fuck, I will go and put it into this one because I think it is quite a unique and quite a special video that go and go and represent what my channel is going to be going through in the next year, next 2 years, next 3 years, so on and so on. But with that said, once you've done with the undercoverdudes comment, go and comment any questions that you may want to go and ask me, especially with all of what I've said throughout this video. Maybe more questions went and popped into your mind. But other than that, it's undercoverdudes all the way from down under.